Hello, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here today with Joyce Graff, the leader of our Brookline Bees Sewing and Quilting Group, to announce an exciting fundraising opportunity that we have for the fall, that we're planning for this fall.
I'd like to invite you to contribute a square to a quilt. And from anywhere in Brookline, from anywhere in Massachusetts, from anywhere in the country, your contributions are very much welcome. So we're making a quilt to support our local senior center.
As many of you may know, in the wake of COVID, like so many other businesses, the Senior Center and the Council on Aging took a real budget hit this fiscal year, and we had to reduce our budget by 10%. And so we need to be creative going forward about finding ways to do some fundraising, some new projects. Additionally, if you haven't heard this, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but our two major fundraising events that we host every fall, our annual autumn benefit and the Senior Craft Fair, a particular favorite of mine, both take, several months of planning. And with the projection for the fall and the fear of another surge, we really just couldn't safely take on planning for either one of those to happen in person. So we won't be holding those two major fundraising events in the fall, and we need to figure out kind of creative ways to continue to raise funds for the Senior Center and the Council on Aging so we can continue to provide for those vital services and programs that are so important to so many people in the community. And so, historically, some of you may have even been the lucky recipients of a quilt in the past under the leadership, the bees under the leadership of both Miriam Sokoloff and Patty Chase in the past have created wonderful, beautiful quilts for us that we've been able to successfully raffle off and raise funds for the center. And so Joyce, who has been our quilting leader for the last couple of years, has graciously and wonderfully agreed to kind of get another one going for us this year. And so I'm going to let Joyce tell you a little bit more about the quilt itself and what we hope you can do with us. Go ahead, Joyce, take it away.
Thank you. And it's not just about the quilt, of course. The other major thing that we all do in the Senior Center is trying to keep people socially connected. So even though we're socially distanced, we're still socially connected. And we took our quilting class online in the middle of March, and we've been meeting every Tuesday. So it's more of a social experience than everything. Some people have machines at home, some people don't. And so whatever way you like to sew, that's the way we want to support you in sewing and in being with us. So Tuesday mornings at 10:30, we have our classes, and many of those programs are actually online at the Brookline Senior Center channel on YouTube. So what we're doing now is we're asking people to make one square of a quilt. And just to give you an idea of it, this is a sort of concept of what the quilt might look like. And this is 6 squares, the first 6 squares we have of it. It could be a house, it could be a tree, it could have a tree and one or more animals. So everybody is making just one square of this. This is 10 and a half inches square, and it's not complicated, and I have patterns for you. It can be done with machine or it can be done by hand. You can piece these pieces together, and then in some cases we applique something on top. You could add a little embroidery, like the doorknob here is actually embroidered on. So it's all whatever you'd like to make, whatever you want to contribute to our community, as it were. And since these are only 10 inches square, this is now 30 by 20, which is kind of small. So we'd like it to be a bed quilt, at least a throw, if not a full bed quilt. And so we need a lot more hands making a lot more squares to contribute to our community quilt. And we hope that you'll be willing to do one. I have the sky fabric if you want me to contribute the sky fabric, I can do that. We can even send it in the post. As far as the small pieces here, scraps you have around would be fine. If you need some other pieces, some other colors, I can try to help you do that. So by all means, you know, let your curiosity flow and just be as creative as you like with it. And we would love to have your contribution to the community.
Absolutely. And it'll be beautiful to see everyone's creativity all tied together at the end,
Yes.
and how each different
Yes.
square is. So yes, so you can reach out to Joyce directly via email, correct? If
Correct.
they want
If
to.
you want, you can send an email to, get this, brooklinebeehive@gmail.com, and the Brookline Beehive will come to me, and I'll be glad to send you the instructions and so forth. I'm also putting together what they call a playlist on the Brookline Senior Center channel, so that you can find all the materials there as well. So we hope that you'll all participate.
Wonderful. And as always, I'll just take a minute to remind you that if you need anything during this whole time, if you just want to call us up and say hello, if you need any help arranging services or have any questions, you can reach out to us directly at the Senior Center, even though, as Joyce said, we need to be kind of physically distant at the moment. We still want to stay connected. We want to be available to talk with you and help you with anything you may need. So you can always give us a call. The Senior Center phone number is 617-730-2770. You will get an answering machine, but when you leave a message, one of the social workers will get back in touch with you, and we'd be happy to talk with you about anything that you may need. So we hope that you'll join us in this community quilting effort. And we thank Joyce for taking the leadership on this, and for all the bees that have been buzzing so far and helping with the quilt.
Thanks so much. And you'll be giving us more information about the fundraising event in the fall, right?
Yes, as we continue to kind of develop that idea and what's happening in terms of selling, you know, tickets for the quilt in particular, there'll be a number of fundraising events that we're working on. But in terms of the quilt, we'll probably send out a mailing. There'll be some information on our newsletter, on tickets, and all those kinds of things. So stay tuned.
Thanks so much, everybody. I hope to see wonderful products coming forward quickly. Thank you very much for your willingness to consider making a square for our quilt. We hope that you will send us a wonderful piece, a house or a tree or an animal or whatever you like, to add to our collection of squares and make this quilt bigger and more beautiful. So thank you very much, and I'll hope to hear from you soon at brooklinebeehive@gmail.com. Thank you.